Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Happy Monday to you guys. Today is Monday with some date attached to it. It's Monday, January 23rd, 2022. 2023. Sorry. Oh my gosh. And I am Angela with Happy Little Stitch Shop. And today we are here for our Flosstube. So all things cross stitch. And you guys, today I have a lot of goodies for you. Like a lot of goodies for you. So today is a good day to be here with Happy Little Stitch Shop. How are you guys doing? How was your weekend? And how is everyone doing on this fabulous Monday? It is sunny here and it is brisk out. It is windy and that wind has a bite to it. So we're running a little bit late at the shop because once I get into a rhythm with fulfilling orders, it's hard for me to stop. And so my little one and I got home, and so I was like, okay, I gotta get ready for the live stream. And she said, "Oh, we're supposed to take Henry for a walk." And I said, "Oh, I told her that last night that when we got back from the shop, we would take Henry for a walk." And so I was like, "Oh, did I tell you that? Yes, I did. Let's go take Henry for a walk." So we went outside and she was like, "It's cold out here." Because on our way out, we were walking into the wind. And so it was just whoosh, it was very chilly. And so the walk was very short. Um, and then I came back to get ready. And then I got a call from my dad. And so I was chatting with him for a little bit. So I apologize for being just a tish late. But how are you guys? How's everybody doing? Let's see who is here. Who is here? Hello, Sharon Snow from Texas. Hello, Lisa. Happy Monday to you. Hello, Sharon. Cold and wet New Jersey. Hello, Carla. Watching and stitching the Song of the Angels. Well, that sounds beautiful. That stitch does. Hello, Chris. Hello, Judy. Hello, Donna, Deanna, Kelly, Glenda, Darla, Donna, Tammy S, K. Hello, happy little Stitcher friends from Kansas City. Go Chiefs! Is Mahomes okay? My youngest son, like the minute it happened, he was like, "Mahomes is hurt. Mahomes is hurt." And then he finished the game, and now he's confident that the Chiefs are going to win it all because he thinks that Mahomes can do anything. So, working on Christmas at Hog Run Hollow. Is anyone doing Snowman Collector? I have a question. I'm doing it. And I got your question, and I haven't done the math yet. So I'm going to get back to you. That's why I didn't get back to you right away, because I wanted to sit and do the math and figure that out, which we have to figure out anyway, so that we can be sure to have cloth available the month that you're going to need another piece. Pam, hello from East Texas. 1 week and 4 days, and hopefully I will be able to start walking again. In 5 weeks since I have walked. Oh my goodness. 1 week and 4 days. So 2 weeks from now, we need an update as to if you are on your feet walking again and how it is going. And in the meantime, we are going to all send you positive walking vibes. That's pretty exciting. I would be excited too if I were you. Fiber Arts Amy, hello. Hello, Ruth P. Hello, Linda. Fiber Arts Amy. Rita, hello. Your first day of retirement. Congratulations, Rita. Happy retirement to you. I hope to see you here every week now. Are you excited about retirement, or are you a little apprehensive and unsure of what it's going to look like? I've talked to people who have felt both. Some are like, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. And others are like, I have plenty to do because they have lots of hobbies and stuff like that. So are you excited? I think that you would probably be excited because I see a bunch of crafting in your future. So crazy, hello. Best thing ever, says Linda. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Marcia. Congratulations. Hi, Debbie. Happy Monday to you. I lost. my spot. There we are. Looking forward to it. Been stitching all morning. That's so exciting. Hello, Alice. Deanna, I'm very excited. You're at the Dells. Have fun. Hello, Patricia. Hello, Sally Quilt. Hello, Sharon. Hello, Jacqueline. Julie. Julie. Sherry, hello. Hello, Rhonda. Today would have been my sweet mama's 87th birthday. Happy 87th to your sweet mama. That can be a hard day, my friend. Hello, DJ Mouse. Maria, hello. Glad you are here for a live. Welcome. Hello, Martha. Just finished number 4 of Little Sheep Virtue. Oh, that's good. Hello, Chris. Hello, Anita. I'm opening Happy Mail this very instant. Yay. Hello, Lori. Happy Monday to you all. I'm currently decorating a binder for Calico Garden. So long. Having fun while listening. I love it. Kay says, high ankle sprain. Patrick says he's playing, but time will tell. I know. There's lots of discussion. We were talking about it at the supper table last night. Lots of discussion about Patrick Mahomes. Hello, Valeria. How are you, my friend? Judy had a great weekend. It was my birthday. Judy, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Judy. Happy birthday to you. I hope you had a great day. Did you get to do something special? Did you get to celebrate you a little bit? Hello, Gayleen. Valeria, thank you for the super chat, my friend. That's very nice of you. Thank you. Good morning. Hello, Janet. Listening and frogging. Oh, that's not fun. April, good morning. Went to the ballet over the weekend with my daughter. I've had no time for crafting. Hopefully this week is lighter than last week and I can get some good Calico Garden prep time. You and me both. My friend, you and me both. Hello, Sue. Hello, Tracy. Still waiting for someone to buy my house. Oh, well, let's hope that goes through quickly. That can be kind of stressful. So I'm hoping that it all happens fast for you, Valeria. Judy, thank you all. Spent time with my daughter and granddaughter. Oh, that's good. That's a nice day. Sue doing a post-Christmas frenzy clean in my hen den. How's it going? It's going to feel so good when it's done. So good. So you guys, I have a ton of stuff here to show you. A ton of stitchy goodness here to show you. Hello, Marie. Welcome. I had a good weekend. We had 3 basketball tournaments, 2 tournaments and a game on Saturday. So some of you may have seen I was crocheting during warm-up time. I got some good crochet time in, which felt really good. So I'm making progress on my pillow. That's what you saw in the picture. If you saw my post from Saturday or in my stories on Saturday, I'm working on my fall pillow. I keep thinking, it's just going to be a couple more rounds and then I'm going to be done. Well, I put another round on it while I was at the game during warm-up time. And I brought it home to see if it was going to fit around the 20-inch pillow. Not quite yet. So I say a couple more rounds and then it keeps being like a couple more rounds. So I added another one last night before I started in on stitching. I'm going to try to do a round a day. So hopefully that should be done soon. And then I can share it with you guys. It's going to be just like this one. Lori showed it in her pillow parade video. And it's going to be just like this one, except in fall colors. So I'm excited about that. So once I get it all done, I will share it with you. And hopefully that won't be forever away. Barbara Johns, hello. Got my happy little package and those floss leagues again were amazing. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. Thank you so much. It's kind of fun to put those together. Darlene says, love that fall pillow you are doing. It's so pretty. It is so pretty. Lori says, yay, crochet. I know. I love crochet. I absolutely love it. Every time that I do it, I feel happier and lighter. And so I got some, and it kept me maybe quiet during the basketball game. My oldest daughter, Dee, you guys know Dee, she's like, you should bring crochet to my games more often. Because I'm always like, rah rah. And she's like, maybe you should bring crochet more often and just do that and kind of watch the game while you're doing that. So I got some crochet time in, and I'm happy about that. And I'm trying to figure out a plan in my schedule to get a little bit of crochet in every day, because I'm still working on my granny square Afghan, and I want to keep adding to those squares and then get all of that together. So a little bit of crochet every day just for a little bit of time, and I think that will go a long way. So that's my hope. Anne says, I'm doing tons of crocheting, bitten by the bug. It's an easy bug to get bit by. Sadly, it means my stitching is being neglected, not enough time for all the things. It is hard to balance. It's hard to balance. You're in good company, Shelly. It's hard, or Anne, it's hard to balance. Donna, what are floss leagues? So floss leagues we have a classic Colorworks floss league and a Weeks Dye Works floss league. And each month you get 5 skeins of that floss. So if you're part of the Classic Colorworks Floss League, then each month you get 5 skeins of Classic Colorworks floss. If you're part of the Weeks Dye Works Floss League, then you get 5 skeins each month of the Weeks Dye Works floss. And usually the way that I've been doing it, and maybe this will change in the future, but for right now, I put together seasonal colors. So, Christmas might have greens and reds and whites. I think this year I put maybe a navy and a yellow in there for Christmas. So that's what the floss leagues are. It's just a monthly subscription club. It's out there on the website right now. It's under the Stitch Along section of our happylittlestitchshop.com website. And you can join one or both, and you'll start getting, and then at the end of each month, you'll get an invoice for the next month's floss leagues. And then we ship all those out, and you get your floss to add to your stash. Shelly says, I'm busy cutting out simple shapes for Calico Gardens. So glad Lori's guide includes the number of each shape we will need of the stabilizer we will need. Yes. That guide is well thought out, my friend. It's well thought out and full of information. Lori says, I still crochet every morning for about 30 to 45 minutes. It's my happy crochet and tea time. I think that's what I need to do. I mean, I can't do it in the morning, but tea time, that's what I'm talking about. I definitely need to do crochet every day. So I'm going to figure out a good time of day to get that in. Like the morning doesn't work for me because I'm busy trying to get kids out the door to school, but I'm going to figure out a time to get it in. But tea time, especially in the afternoon, like I need a little pick me up in the afternoon. So tea time might be just the thing. Kara, hello. How are you? Hello, Sue. Good afternoon to you. Hello, Pat. Sherry says, can't wait until my monthly subscriptions to student loans is done. So I can sign up for Floss League. Oh my gosh. I hear you. I hear you on that one. Barbara says, all of them have been amazingly beautiful colors, very appropriate for the seasons and coordinated perfectly. Oh, thank you. That's really nice of you to say. I appreciate that. Okay, so I'm going to jump in to start sharing stuff. I'm going to share some goodies first that just arrived before I left the shop today. So this was another reason that I got a little bit behind schedule, because we got 11 boxes of stuff. And so I was going through those boxes to see what was in there, and to make sure that I got anything online that was going to be exciting to share with you today. So I got some stuff online that I'm excited to share with you today that just arrived. Okay, this one did not just arrive, but I'm going to share it with you because it is new. I have not shared it on here yet, so it's new to the shop. Sharon says, I'm cross-stitching on my Lori Holt. She believes she could, so she did, that I started years ago. That one, look. That one, Sharon. This one right here. I love that one. Love that one. Lori says, I sometimes crochet for longer in the mornings. Well, that I could do, but most maybe, but I cross stitch every evening. So that's how I fit both crochet and stitching in. Yeah. So, and especially if you just, this is a lesson that I learned from Lori a few weeks ago. I would try to sit down, like, for example, um, let's just say Autumn Love, each one of those little pictures. So I would sit down and I would be like, I'm going to finish this picture. Like, I'm going to finish this one picture tonight. So I would sit down and I would start going, and I wouldn't quite get the whole thing done. And then I'd be like, oh, I didn't get it done. And so Lori said, well, don't try to like say, okay, I'm going to do this much stitching. Just assign a time to it and stitch for that amount of time. And whatever you get done in that amount of time is still progress. And so I was like, oh, well, that's a good way to look at it because I'm very goal oriented. So I'm like, I have the same problem when I'm at the shop. We have X number of orders and I want to get all those orders out. So then I will ship. And it ends up, because sometimes it can take a long chunk of time, which then eats into me making progress on other areas that I need to make progress in. So the old adage, like, you can do it all, but you can't do it all at once. That's what that is starting to mean to me. Like, set chunks of time so that you can accomplish multiple things, maybe not fully, but you can accomplish multiple things each day. So that's kind of how I'm trying to change my way of looking at things and try to approach from that direction. Sharon says, yep, I love it too. I always start my day stitching, says Sue. Tracy, the World of Lori Holt book and quilt kit just arrived. It's going to be hard for me to focus on what you are saying. I may be distracted. Looking through that book. Yes, there's so many pretty things in there. Darlene, those 30 minutes add up. Even when I only do a few stitches, I hear everyone in my head. Every stitch counts and gets me. Yes, every stitch counts. It's so true. Progress is progress, regardless of if it's a lot or a little or whatever. It's progress. Okay, so here is something that's new to the shop. Do you guys remember? Oh, the other one is over there. Let me get it. It's with my World of Lori Holt book. Look, this is my stand behind my sewing machine right now. And I got this down here and the little bee up here. I was going to put the little bee down here to kind of be like buzzing around the hive. But this is the first one of these cute little bees that came out. It's the yellow one. Well, now, as you know, Lori shared with us on here that these are going to be released in multiple colors for a limited time. So it's like, once they're gone, they're gone. And so the yellow one was first. And I don't even remember if we have more of those in the shop. We might. I don't know. So the yellow one was first. And now the pink one has just been released. So the pink one is now in the shop. And it looks like that. Cute little gingham pink bee. Enamel. So pink bee in my bonnet, enamel needle minder. In the shop, ready to ship. Okay. So that's the first fun new thing. Kara, I'm not a quilter yet. Can you tell me about the World of Lori Holt book? Yes. Yeah, let me just get it and then I can show it to you. So this is the World of Lori Holt. It's not really a book. It's like a catalog. So sometimes I think I call it a book, but that's by mistake. It's a catalog. And so what this is Riley Blake Designs put this together to capture all of Lori's fabric collections, notions, needle minders, rulers, cross-stitch cloth, cross-stitch patterns, like everything that Lori has done, almost everything. I won't say everything, but almost everything that she's done with Riley Blake Designs. And even her cross-stitch patterns are in here, and those are through It's So Emma. but it's all captured in this book to date. This is volume 1. So the idea behind this book, it's 3-hole punched. There's just kind of tape on the outside. It's not bound like a book. So when you open it up, the pages become loose so that you can put it into a binder, a 3-ring binder. And there are things in here like collections, basics, wide backs, patterns, books, notions, sewing room organization. So it has her fabric in here. There is an exclusive quilt pattern in here called the World of Lori Holt Quilt Pattern. It's got her books in here. It has her rulers in here, a bunch of her notions, like her binders, like everything she's done to date. This is volume 1. Volume 2 will then be released this year to capture everything from the end of this book through when volume 2 is released. And then once you get volume 2, you can just add it to your binder. So each year, the idea is they'll keep releasing so that people have, everything Lori at their fingertips. I think it was perfect for quilt shops so that when people ask questions about maybe a past fabric or something like that, you kind of have access to when it was released and what collection it's from and stuff like that. But it's also made available to you guys so that if you want all of the information at your fingertips, you can have it too. So that's the World of Lori Holt. Does that help, Kara? Marcia, I am jealous of your turquoise book stand. I was so bummed that I did not get it. And then I got one. So that was really, really cool. I love it. I love the aqua one. I love it. Kara, I know I would love to drool over everything. Yes, exactly. Okay, so that B is the first new thing in the shop. And then, looky, what just arrived today. B Vintage charms are here. They are in the shop. For those of you who clicked notify me when in stock, you probably have an email or will be getting an email very soon to let you know that some B Vintage goodies have arrived. Kay just ordered hers. So here's the little Scotty dog from B Vintage. Again, B Vintage is a fabric collection of Lori's that comes out in March. But she has fun little notions that also apply to cross stitch. So this is a B Vintage happy charm of the Scotty dog. Perfect to adorn your cross stitch bag. Also, we have the happy little house in the shop, ready to ship, brand new, just arrived a few hours ago. And then this one, which might be my fave, although that house, I kind of love houses, and that dog is pretty cute. This one is Sunbonnet Sue. Sunbonnet Sue from the B Vintage collection by Lori. So Sunbonnet Sue, this happy little charm is in the shop, ready to ship. She's super cute. So those things are all brand new. Judy says, working on scrappiness, happiness, block, and listening. I love all of Lori's patterns, books, etc. Me too. Susan says, just ordered 3 zipper pulls this morning, including the cute Scotty. Happy home and Sunbonnet Sue. Oh, isn't she so cute? Sue says, I love Sunbonnet Sue. Me too. Kara says, I want to learn the quilt so I can make that Scotty dog quilt. You should. Jump in, Kara. We can help you. Okay, and then the other thing that arrived today, and you know that these little things are a big deal when my little one says, the mugs are here. So, calico enamel mug has arrived. Look at this. And here, I'll take it out and I will show you. Here is the calico enamel mug. It is in the shop, ready to ship, and it is too cute to boot. It is so darling. Get those little spools with flowers in them. I love it. It's darling. It's going to go with all of my other mugs. How many ounces are in the mug? I don't know that it says. The box doesn't say. But let me see. Does it say online? And that hometown mug is going to be darling too. Oh my gosh. Ooh, a bunch of you guys holds 20 ounces. 20 ounces. Judy, 20 ounces. I love it. I love, love, love it. I'm going to set it right there so everybody can just keep looking at it. So cute. So the mug is in the shop. That 20-ounce mug is in the shop. Kara, those quilts are adorable, but they don't look like beginner level quilting for newbies like me. I don't know. I might differ to beg. Beg to differ. Oh my gosh, my husband always says differ to beg just to be funny. So then sometimes I say that thinking that I'm in with my kids who would understand that, but I don't know. I'd have to look at it more closely, but I think the applique, it looks like on those Sunbonnet Sioux quilts might be kind of, or the Scotty quilt, might be kind of not a lot of pieces and bigger pieces. So you might be okay. It might be easier than you think it would be. You might be surprised at the simplicity of it. I have enough zipper pulls for every zipper in my house. You are welcome, Judy. Okay, also, Chicken Club has arrived. So we are going to be invoicing this week. So for those of you who reserved our Chicken Club stitch along, keep an eye out for invoices this week, end of this week, and we will have extras of these in the shop. They're not listed in the shop yet because I want to make sure we cover our stitch along people, and I haven't counted them out, but we have plenty, so we will definitely have some listed in the shop very, very soon. So there you go. Oh, and Lori, if you're still listening, I'd had a conversation with my little one because for those of you who follow both quilting and cross stitch, we made the chicken salad. We did a chicken salad so along with Lori, and I made the chicken salad quilt, which my little one claimed, even though it was not being made for her, but she just claimed it. And so now my plan is to make these and hang them up in her room. But I started them and I didn't even think about asking her if she wanted the names on them or not. So I asked her today as I was getting ready. She came in to give me a hug the night before her nap. And I said, "Hey, those chickens, do you think that you would want their names on the stitch or not? Do you think you'd want it without?" And she said, "I think I would like my name on it." And I said, "Your name?" And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "On all of them?" And she goes, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, why?" And she said, "Because then everybody will know that they are mine." So there you have it. Lori, that's what she said. That was her response. Then everybody will know that all the chickens are hers. I was like, okay. I don't know that we're going to do that, but okay. So Cornelius has arrived and we're pretty excited about it. Okay. Do those tarts come with a carton of free eggs? No. Oh my goodness, that's funny. April says, "I think Lori's method of applique is great for beginners, and she has methods to help you succeed, like oversized." Yes, it's so beginner So Kara, that's what I mean. I think you'll find that it's easier than you think. Kayla says, I also want to learn to quilt. I thought about starting with the fairy tale pumpkin table runner. It looks beginner friendly, I think. That's adorable. Angela, she is so adorable. A beginner quilter can do those quilts. Yeah, that's what I think so too. Terry says, is there a floss kit for the chickens? Yes, there is. So if you signed up for the stitch along, yep, there's a floss kit that will be for the entire chicken club. So you won't get a floss kit each month with each pattern. You'll get one floss kit the first month, and that floss kit has floss in it for the entire club. Every time that we can do that, that's what I prefer to do. It's more cost effective, it's more time effective for us to not need to do floss kits each month. But sometimes we can't always get our hands on the floss requirements for the whole series, especially if it's a series that's just kind of being released and worked on and created as they're releasing the earlier ones. But Lori was really awesome. She put together a floss kit for the whole series, so that's great. I love it. What cross stitch fabric color do you recommend for the chicken salad? So barley is Lori has 25 count Lugana in barley. That's what that's stitched on. That's what I plan to stitch mine on. If you don't use barley, I would say for like 14 count or 32 count, lamb's wool is a good one, but there are a lot of other comparable ones to lamb's wool as well. Like Icelandic beige is pretty similar to lamb's wool. It might just be a hue, like a shade lighter or darker, but it's pretty similar. So there are a lot of those lighter kind of tannish creamy colors. And I have all of the cloth here, so I'm going to go through all of that because somebody asked for that last week. Okay, then I have a couple more goodies to share before I get into all of the other stuff. First of all, look what finally arrived. I tracked it down and it is here. Baby, it's cold outside. This is by Heartstring Samplery. Beth was super nice. She shipped me a bunch of these, so I really appreciated that. Because my supplier didn't have it and I didn't want to bug her for it, and then I just contacted her. She said, yeah, I have some, I can ship them to you right away. So she did. So baby, it's cold outside. So if you guys recall, Lori did a thing on her YouTube channel on her Flosstube that she did in December, end of November maybe, and she asked for people to vote on what they wanted for her December 1st start. Well, this one was top of my list. I was like, oh, do Baby It's Cold Outside, because I love this one. And I really wanted to start it this winter. And then I had a hard time tracking down the chart, but now it's here. And so my goal is to try to start this one while the snow is still on the ground and get some stitches in yet this winter on it. So Baby It's Cold Outside by Heartstring Samplery has arrived, and I am going to stitch this. It's so cute. So that's in my wish list, my stitch list. Sam says, I just adore these cross stitches. Hello, Sam. Hello, Shedika. Am I saying that correctly? I hope. Happy crocheting to you. We did just get a bunch of chunky thread in too, so that's going to be added to inventory. Although we are stocked full with all of the chunky thread right now. Hello, Christine. Homebody Patty. Hello. Made it today, better late than never. Can't wait to see what y'all are showing today. I have finished my first ever cross stitch, one of Lori's cross stitch cards, and I'm hooked. Yay! I'm so happy to hear that. Okay, the next information that I have for you, Lori and I are doing a stitch along together. How exciting is that? So we are doing a stitch along together, and Lori picked the chart, and I'm going to share the chart with you guys today so that anybody who wants to stitch along with us can jump in and do it. I'm not providing like a stitch along reservation. I'm not doing, like floss kits and stuff like that for it, although maybe I could maybe do a floss kit for it. I probably will, because Lori's going to pick some floss colors and she's going to share them with us, and then I can put together a floss kit for you. So yes, I am going to put together a floss kit, but it's not ready yet. So here is the chart that Lori picked, and it's going to be super, super cute. And she's going to do custom floss, pick custom floss for it, or, do a floss thing for it. Here it is. Okay, so it's from the Prairie Schooler, and the name of the chart is called Garden Samplers. And the one that we are doing, we're not stitching all three together. We are doing this one right here on the end with that house. And look at that gate with those bricks. We were just talking about another one that was similar to this. And it says, into your garden you can walk, and with each plant and flower talk. So it's very, very cute. Springy, happy. It's got a little house, it's got a little gate and a little fence and a little brick walkway. I love it. So this is in the shop right now. This chart is Garden Samplers by the Prairie Schooler. This is for stitch along with Lori and I. So we hope you will join in and stitch with us. And like I said, Lori's picking floss. And once I have that information from her, we will put together some floss kits and have those in the shop for you too. Anybody excited about that? I'm excited about it. I can't wait. It's going to be fun. Anybody think you'll join in? I would love to hear if you think you're going to join. Rebecca, I bought so many wonderful Christmas charts at the expo in St. Louis this year, but when I broke my shoulder before Thanksgiving, all my Christmas stitching went by the wayside. So spring is my jam. Yes, stitch Christmas. I'm gonna be working on Christmas for sure. I think like just all year, I'll just sprinkle it in. So again, Garden Samplers by the Prairie Schooler. Angela and Lori stitch along. Okay, now last week, somebody had asked me to pull and share cross stitch cloth. And so today is the day. Today's the day. I pulled a bunch of cross stitch cloth. Yay, Terry. I'm happy to hear that. Sam says, Terry says, I'm in for Garden Sampler. She's stitching it up with Lori and Angela. Super exciting. Not sure I can do it in a timely manner. Sam, do you realize who you're talking to? Be sure to put it on Instagram so I can share the Lori Angela stitch along. Yes. Patricia, I would like to join the Garden Sampler so long. Yay. The more the merrier. I'm in, says Alice. What would be a good fabric for it? So Lori recommended to me Prim 25 count Lugana would be a great color. And I mean, there are just a lot. I pulled all the cloth. So I'm going to go through it. And maybe as we're going through all of it, I can say, ooh, that one might be good for Garden Sampler. What count do you want? Okay, so let's go through the cloth. I'm going to share all the cloth. And I have a special cloth that you guys have been patiently waiting for. And I got it online. So I'm excited to tell you about it. But we're going to start low and we're going to go high. And this is not even there's a ton more cloth to come. Okay, ton more cloth to come. I am going to be placing, I'm trying to give Sue at Legacy Fiber Arts just a tish of a breather. And then I'm going to be placing a big order with her to replenish my Legacy Fiber Arts stock. Plus I have a bunch of other cloth that I'm going to be getting online, hopefully soon. So Crazy said, I would like to be able to purchase the pattern and floss and cloth all at the same time. If I don't get them all together, I get mixed up what they belong to when I finally receive them. Well, there you go. It's easy to do. isn't it? Okay, so 20 count cork. This is by Lori Holt with Zweigart. It's 100% Zweigart linen in 20 count. So here is the lovely color cloth. It's kind of a tan gray. So that's in the shop. And now we're going to move on to 14 count Aida. Okay. So I'm just going to grab and share. This one is Zweigart 14 count Aida in the color beige. So like this one is a good possibility for Chicken Club. It's kind of similar to, it's probably a little bit lighter than lamb's wool, but similar. So 14 count beige. I'm the same. What do you use 20 count for? You can stitch anything on it, whatever you want. Anything that you like that color for. Yeah, you could use it for anything. I think it's a lovely color. I love it. It's beautiful. I'm actually like sitting here looking at it thinking, what could I stitch on there? What do I have upstairs that I'm looking through that I could stitch on here because it's very pretty. I like kind of the grayness of it. You know, like it has some tan in it, but it's also kind of gray. So I do that. What is the pretty stuff for? I do that too. Huh? What's the pretty stuff for? What is this pretty stuff for? Oh, when you go through it, yes. So here is a Legacy Fiber Arts 14 count. This is Dunes at Dusk. We have some of this in stock still, not a ton. There's some slight modeling. You can see it's just lovely. If you sometimes excuse me. Sometimes you might want a like no modeling. You want kind of clean cloth for your stitch, but sometimes modeling is just, it adds just the perfect amount of, thank you, Sam. Texture. Thank you, Judy. It adds just the perfect amount of texture to your stitch, you know? And so Legacy Fiber Arts, mwah, their cloth is perfect for that. I love it. The modeling is just spot on. So Dunes at Dusk, fat quarter, Legacy Fiber Arts, 14 count. Another Legacy Fiber Arts, 14 count. This is Covered Bridge. This is another one of my favorites. Look at that. Oh, isn't it pretty? You see just that slight modeling. Just enough. Just enough. All right, here's 14 count Dunes at Dusk. Didn't we already do that? We sure did. Who pulled this stuff? You're welcome, Sue. Love the modeling of Legacy Fiber Arts. Me too. Me too. Here is 14 count Breeze by Lori Holt. This is like a sky blue, like it's a very light blue. It could be beautiful for some Easter stitches, some spring stitches, even wintry stitches. Ooh, it would be perfect. Breeze, 14 count Breeze. Here is another Legacy Fiber Arts, 14 count Boston Tea Party. This one has a little bit darker dyeing and that same subtle modeling. Oh, it's just fabulous. This could be good. Could be a possibility for Garden Sampler in 14 count if somebody's looking for that. This is 14 count Fabric Flare in Smoky Blue. So here's modeling. It's this, like, this is perfect. I had somebody stitch Christmas Delivery by Cottage Garden Samplings. Somebody asked for a cloth recommendation. I recommended this one and she was excited about it and she went with it and she stitched it. Carrie, was it you? And it's beautiful. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. It's like a wintry sky in the background. It's definitely blue. It might come across to you guys like gray, but it's definitely like it's a blue. So the name of it is Smoky Blue and it's in 14 count. This would be really fun for some winter Christmassy stitches. Here is 14 count Shadow by Lori Holt. How about that blue for December Snow? Yes. Debbie, you are asking about that one. Yes. You've been talking with Kayla about it. I need to, who is December Snow by? Can you just remind me? December Snow. Cross stitch. I want to see the pattern. Oh, yes. We have this in the shop. Yes, this would be perfect for it. All right, let me show you guys. December Snow. Yes. Absolutely. You were asking for a recommendation. I apologize that I've not gotten back to you yet. But perfect timing. So glad that you are here. Here is December Snow. Perfect. Yes. Now, what count do you want? Do you want 14 count? Isn't that beautiful? That stitch is so, so pretty. December Snow. And yes, yes, without hesitation, I would say yes. December Snow is by Praiseworthy Stitches. This I can get in any count, so you're not tied into 14 count if you like that cloth. Also, 14 count Ada New England Gray by Legacy Fiber Arts. This is a lighter gray with some very subtle modeling in it. You can see kind of the modeling through there and through there. It's fabulous. New England Gray. We also have Nor'easter, which is also a light gray, Legacy Fiber Arts, with some subtle modeling in it. Both of those could be fabulous for Halloween stitches with like a spooky fall sky or fall stitches, or even some Christmassy would be lovely. I know, that's such a good idea. Debbie, look at you go. Prefer 28 count. Okay. Maybe you could send a message to customer service so that I can get that ordered for you. Because I have 28 count here, but I don't have anything that's similar to that. Love that blue and 16 count for December Snow. What is the name of the blue you just showed? Smoky Blue. So this one is Smoky Blue by Fabric Flair. It's fabulous. Okay, also Legacy Fiber Arts. This is 14 count Popover. This is a light, kind of creamy color with some very subtle modeling in it. Also kind of has, like, this could be a good possibility for Chicken Club. You know? So Popover. And then we have 14 count Low Tide. There's a little bit more modeling in this than there is in the Popover. You can see kind of that modeling throughout. So that one is Low Tide. And then this one is called Ginger Snap, and it's by Fabric Flair, and it's 14 count. I have had people do some fall stitching on this one. Ginger Snap in 14 count. Homebody Patty, do you have any openings left in Chicken Club? I can make one for you, Patty. I feel like those little chickens are going to stitch up super quick. This might be a stitch along that I am going to be able to keep up with. I'm not kidding. And I feel like they're going to be super, super fun to stitch. So send us an email at customer service. So HLSS customer service at gmail.com, Patty, and we'll get you hooked up. Yeah, ginger snap is beautiful. Look at that. It's like an orange camouflage. You're welcome, Homebody Patty. Okay, and then we have 14 count. This is beautiful beige. Beautiful beige and 14 count. Beautiful beige is another very popular, very common, just neutral background for a lot of different stitches. If you're stitching snow and you want to have kind of that tan neutral background, the snow is going to show up really nicely on beautiful beige. It's a very popular neutral background. Golden needle. This is 14 count golden needle. And this is country French. So I'll let you in on a little secret. Some people really like the stiffness of cross stitch cloth. They like their cloth to be kind of stiff, and then it loosens up as you handle it while you're stitching. Anything that you see from Wichell that says country French, so it has CF, golden needle CF, which stands for country French. The cloth does not have that stiffness. So some people like the stiffness, some people do not like the stiffness. If you like Wichell cloth and Wichell colors, but you don't want the stiffness that sometimes is in their cloth, look for country French options, because the country French option does not have the stiffness. It's very like relaxed. It's a very relaxed cloth. So this is golden needle, country French, and this one could also be a great option for garden sampler if you're looking for 14 count. Yep. Lori, 20 count, if you stitch over 2, it would finish the same as 10 count. That's what I did that on, was 10 count. Yeah, so if you stitched over 2, it would finish bigger, or you could stitch over 1, finish smaller. Okay, then we have 14 count touch of gray. This is another very popular, just neutral gray background used for a lot of stitches. We use touch of gray for Frosty Forest, which I don't have back here anymore, but we used this for Frosty Forest. Trying to think of what else we used it for. I feel like we used it for something else, but touch of gray is a great like neutral. If you're going to use it for winter stitches, snow shows up really nicely on that. Here's another golden needle. Here is 14 count amber. So this is kind of a darker tan in 14 count. This one was very popular at one time. This is 14 count sand castle. And as you can see, can you see that? That is modeling that's on here. There, you can probably see it best right there. So 14 count sand castle. And it's got that kind of darker modeling throughout. Thank you, Kayla. Rebecca, I pulled out Keeper of the Pins by Brenda Gervais and plan to start sewing the bird, make into a pillow. Would love to stitch them all for a bowl in my sewing room. I love that. It's linen, Sharon. Sharon says, is the 20 count you showed Lugana or Ada? It says it's 100% linen. Jacqueline, thank you for telling what the country French meant. I didn't know that. And I like soft Ada, so I don't. You're welcome. Maybe put her initials on the chicken stitches. There you go. I could do that. Sandcastle for chickens. If you want that modeling, yeah, it could be a possibility. I think the background color would work nicely. And if you want some modeling in it, I don't know that I would choose that because the modeling is kind of like, so the background is like a tan color. It's almost like a beautiful beige or maybe a clay barn gray color. But then the modeling is like a dark gray. And so I don't know that I would use this for Chicken Club personally, but if you like that look, then I think it'd be great. If I were going to do modeling, I would lean more towards a legacy fiber arts with subtle modeling throughout in like a covered bridge, maybe low tide one. I don't know if that helps. Louise, as a new cross stitcher, can you explain the different fabrics and when you would choose each? Yes. So there are different count fabrics. As we've seen, there can be 10 count, there's 14 count, 16 count Ada, 25 count Lugana, 28 count, 32 count. And then in linens, you can get like, well, there's the 20 count linen or 32, 36, 40. And so really, you just need to figure out what your sweet spot is for stitching. Like, what do you like to stitch on? You do not have to stitch on any specific count. So if you see a pattern that says that that model was stitched on 36 count linen, you do not need to feel like you have to stitch it on 36 count linen. Um, you can stitch it on anything. The only thing that's going to change about the stitches, the size would be just a little bit different. So if you stitch it on a lower number, the finished size of your stitch is going to be a little bit bigger. If you stitched on a higher number, your finished size is going to be a little bit smaller. So I think the biggest thing about um, uh, counts is figuring out what you are most comfortable and happiest stitching on. Like, don't let anybody tell you that. You got to figure that out on your own. Otherwise, you're not going to make progress. You're not going to enjoy the stitching. You're not going to progress. Then that's going to lead you to get frustrated because you're not making progress. Like, sometimes it's just about finding what you're most comfortable stitching on. Um, so there doesn't have to be a certain count that's used for certain stitches. It's your preference, whatever you like to stitch on. I've stitched on 10 count. I've stitched on 14, 16, 18, 25, 28, 32, 36. I've stitched on all of that. And I don't think I've found any, 40, I've stitched on 40 count. That's what I'm stitching a Savior's Praise on right now. I don't think that I found anything that I really don't like. Um, but it just depends. The other thing that could weigh in on your decision of what count is what size you might want to finish. You know, like I'm doing these chickens for my little one's room. I had thought about stitching it on 36 count because I kind of like that. And then you just do 1/2, like one thread over two threads, and I kind of like that. Um, but I kind of wanted them to be a little bit bigger, you know, for her room and kind of fun and, you know, so I'm stitching them on 25 count. I also really like stitching on 25 count. Uh, but I wanted them to be a little bit bigger. So if I stitch on 25 count, they're going to be just a little bit bigger than if I stitched on 36 count. I don't know if that's the kind of stuff you were looking for. Does that answer any of your questions, Patty? So it's really your preference. You don't have to stitch a certain count to go with a certain pattern. It's really what you want to stitch on, and then you stitch the pattern the same exact way. It's just gonna be what you're most comfortable stitching on. If you're stitching on Ada, it's easier to see the holes, you know, and so it's easier and faster maybe to stitch on Ada. So if you have vision issues or if your magnification, if you even with magnification, you still find it hard, because I've heard from a lot of you that even with magnification, then stick to the lower counts and that you might have more success and have more fun stitching on the lower counts. If that's not an issue for you, then if you're a newbie, I would probably start with the lower counts and just get used to it, and then start progressing little by little up and see what you like the best as you're doing it. Hello, Kathy. Welcome. I'm so glad you caught us live. Secret pins, I really count on your eyes. Oh, good. Thank you, Louise. I'm doing chicken club, says Lori, on 36 count. That is modeled probably a legacy fiber arts. Oh, that'll be so cute. That'll be so cute. I'm anxious to see it on 36 because like I said, that's what I was thinking about doing it on, but I'm glad that I'm going to be doing it on 25, but it'll be interesting. I'm anxious to see what it looks like. I have Happy Mail in my mailbox that just arrived, says Chris. And I need my unstitcher thingy now. Oh, is it in your mailbox? That's funny. Oh, good luck, Kay. Ooh. 14 count chicken wire. Oh, that's cute. Lori says on every chart, they always tell you what model is stitched on, so you know it's not a direction for you to necessarily do the same. Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what yep. That's so each chart will tell you model was stitched on whatever, but that doesn't mean that you have to stitch it on. It just lets you know that if you want stitched on that count and you want it to look exactly the same way as the model, then they give you all the information to do that. So yes, that's perfectly said, Lori. Homebody Patty. Sorry, I seem to have the sneezes. Different brands. What about different brands? Different brands of cross-stitch cloth. So we have things like Wichelle, which if you don't get the country French version, they do tend to be a little bit of a stiffer cloth. We have a lot of Zweigart. That tends to be a pretty relaxed cloth in general, I would say. Legacy Fiber Arts is a Zweigart based cloth. And then she takes it and she hand dyes it, which is fabulous. My gosh, it's just fabulous. And part of the thing that I love about it is that like almost because of the hand dye process, almost every piece of cloth is unique. And I really kind of like that. I mean, it's going to have a similar feel to it, a similar look to it, but it's all going to be unique. So Legacy Fiber Arts is, like I said, is Zweigart based cloth. And so is Lori's. Let's see, who else? I think that's mainly what I have is Lori's stuff, Zweigart stuff, Legacy Fiber Arts, and Wichelle. And then my hope, once we get our cloth situation under control, is to venture out into more cloth options. So that will be coming in the future. But there's I would say the biggest difference that I have had questions about with regards to brand is the stiffness of the cloth. And that will just take some figuring out what your preference is. The stiffness doesn't bother me because as I use it, it loosens up. And as I'm handling it, it loosens up. So that never is an issue for me. It doesn't bother me. But some people don't care for that. And so then they just tend to veer towards other cloths that aren't as stiff. But as you use more cloths, you'll kind of figure out what you like, what you don't like. But I would say there's not really a huge difference across brands. Like I don't tend to veer towards one brand over another. But I'm not very picky. I'm not a very picky stitcher. I'm kind of easy breezy. So I hope that helps. April, I like your answer to Patty about counts. How do you choose your fabric? There are so many. I probably choose it not so much based on brand. Count sometimes comes into play just depending on if I have a vision for where I want to put it and what size I want it to be. If I want it to be a certain size, then I'll go with a higher count to make it, smaller if I want it to fit into a certain space, or like my Savior's Praise, that's a very large stitch. So if I stitched that on 14 count, it would end up being a sizable finish. And I don't really have a wall that I would want to put something like that big on. So I'm doing that one on 40 count. So it'll finish just a little bit smaller. So when I'm picking, sometimes size will come into play. What count do I want to do it at? Because what do I want the finish size to be? And then otherwise it's all visual. Like what do I want this to look like? Do I think that this would look cool on a gray background or on a neutral background? Modeling, not modeling. Like I pulled This is the day. I don't know. There are some charts that just say to me, this chart should not be stitched with a mottled cloth. So one of those for me, this is just my preference. One of those for me was this is the day. I felt like this looks really nice on a clean background. It's crisp, it's clean. Like I really liked that about it. So I know that if I ever stitch this one, I would do it on a cloth that doesn't have mottling because I like that it's kind of clean. But and the same might be true for more whimsical patterns. Although these chickens are kind of whimsical, I think they're going to look fabulous on modeling. So some things, to me personally, I feel like I don't want modeling with it. That's rare, though. I will say that it's rare because I tend to lean towards modeled pieces because I like how it looks a little bit antiqued and I like how it looks a little bit historical and I kind of like history and I like stuff like that. Like this one, you know, I love how it looks in that sample. So I'll probably pick some type of mottled cloth that's pretty similar to this. I think I already pulled out as a potential for this one, Dunes at Dusk on 36 count by Legacy Fiber Arts. So I would say 90% of my, what am I going to stitch it on is visual. It's not brand. It's not size, and count can play a little bit of a factor in it, but mainly it's going to be visual for me. Does that help? Barbara says, I'm stitching all my Brandy Gervais Keeper of the Pins on 40 count Students at Dusk. Gorgeous fabric. It is gorgeous. Sharon, the only time you might want to stitch same as model is when there are embellishments, such as a button, when it might be too big if you stitch on a lower count, if that makes sense. That's true. Yes. So if there are embellishments, like Sharon says, then you might want to keep it the same. Otherwise, the sizing won't coordinate or might not coordinate. Okay, thank you so much for the help and insight. I will just try to purchase some here and there and see what they are like. Yeah, that's probably the best way. And at the beginning, if you need help, there are often times that we recommend cloth to people. If there's a particular stitch that you're looking for that you really want to do, and you say, just send us an email. What cloth would you recommend for this? And I can tell you my top 3 choices. And then you can go and look it up and see which one you think you might like the best. So we've done that a lot when people are, especially when people are just getting started in it. You're like, I don't know what to pick. There are so many things to choose from. Just say, this is the stitch I'm looking at. I want to stitch on this count cloth. Like this is kind of the count I'm thinking. What would you recommend? And we are happy to provide recommendations. We do it quite often and we're happy to do that. So if that helps at all, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask. Do you stitch in a hoop? I do not stitch in a hoop. I stitch in hand, unless I'm stitching, which I don't stitch very often, probably ever anymore. But when I stitched that on 10 count, I stitched it in a Q snap because the fabric was kind of, I just wanted to have it more taut as I was stitching. But now, like 100% of the time, I just stitch in hand. April says, you know what would be great and maybe too difficult to do? A bundle with the different types, colors of fabrics you have to choose from, like pantyhose at the store. Oh my gosh. Like those little pantyhose cards that were all on a ring, like a binder ring. That is really funny. I would definitely buy that. Little scraps of sampler cloth. That's a good idea. You're welcome, Homebody Patty. It is overwhelming. Patty says it's a little overwhelming at the beginning because I started out not knowing anything. It is very overwhelming. And as you do it, you'll settle in, but we're here to help you in the meantime. And so don't ever hesitate to reach out and ask, especially now that we have Kayla helping out. You're going to get a response a lot faster. And she always asks me questions. You know, I usually, even though I'm not getting the email directly, I'm aware of what's being asked and what's going on. And so Kaylin, will definitely be happy to throw recommendations your way if you need help. We're happy to help. Pantyhose cards on a ring. I remember those. It was helpful on a few floss tubes ago when you got new patterns. You also pulled a new cloth. Yes, I plan on doing more of that. Especially once I get all the rest of my cloth in the system, because then we're going to have more options to choose from. Sample ring to purchase would be great. Cross-stitch fabrics are almost exclusively bought online, so it's hard to know what you really want. It is hard to know. Yeah, especially when you can't see it up close and you can't touch it and feel it. It is very hard to know, which is why I say just ask, because we're happy to help and I will send you recommendations. And if you don't like any of those, just respond to me and say, that's not really what I was thinking. I mean, we do this often. We get lots of these questions quite often. And so sometimes it takes a little bit of back and forth until we land on what you're looking for. We're happy to help out. We're happy to try to point you in the right direction. Sally Quilt says, what fabric and count are you using on my Christmas list? I have it here, 32 count water lily. It's really pretty. And I'll tell you the story once we get there. I'm going to keep going through because we're still on 14 count. Okay, we got a lot to go through. So here's 14 count pewter. This is another fabulous gray background, neutral, clean gray background. It's pretty similar to Touch of Gray, maybe just a shade darker than Touch of Gray. And then we're going to have some similar ones in the 16 count area. Now we're moving into 16 count Ada. This is Graceful Gray. It's a very light gray. I would not use Graceful Gray with snow because the snow wouldn't show up all that great. Is there a stitchy group in your area? Try visiting or going to retreat. You'll see so many. Oh, yeah. You're so helpful and kind. Oh, thank you, Susan. That's nice of you. This is Icelandic blue, which is like a very light blue, and this is in 16 count. We did use this one for the Main Street series Stitch Long by Country Cottage Needleworks. Main Street. And then we have some Legacy Fiber Arts in 16 count. This is Low Tide. It's fabulous. I'm trying to get the glare off. I love the modeling. My gosh, I love it. This one is Fabric Flare Hazy Gray. This I used for Spooky Hollow by Little Stitch Girl. We did a Spooky Hollow Stitch Along by Little Stitch Girl. It's a Halloween themed Stitch Along, and this fabric was fabulous. So I tend to lean towards this for Halloween stitches or wintry stitches. If you didn't like the blue, the smoky blue, and you wanted more of kind of a subtle gray sky for your snowy sky, then this would be a great option. It's called Hazy Gray by Fabric Flare. And then 16 count Boston Tea Party. It's so pretty. All of these Legacy Fiber Arts one, I mean, I could just see so many stitches on these because I love the modeling. It's not too drastic. It's very subtle. It's very pleasing to my eye. All right, this is Cafe Mocha, 16 count, Country French. So this is another Country French one. It's very relaxed. And this is a great kind of standard, very commonly used neutral background. This is another one of my favorites. This is what I stitched Farmhouse Christmas on. This one is called Clay Barn Gray. It's in 16 count. Now I stitched mine on 18 count, but the difference is not going to be vast. And so Clay Barn Gray is one of my favorites. It's like tan, a little bit of gray to it. It's a great go-to for me. My sky is hazy gray now. The sun is gone. Oh no, the sun's still out here. 16 count Legacy Fiber Arts Dunes at Dusk. There's some modeling in this one. Very subtle throughout. Covered Bridge by Legacy Fiber Arts in 16 count Aida. Here is the Golden Needle, Country French Golden Needle, a little bit darker, very relaxed, lovely. Here is 16 count Nor'easter by Legacy Fiber Arts, another fabulous winter sky, Halloween-y. Here's 16 count Aida Popover by Legacy Fiber Arts. Again, very light, very subtle modeling. Script. This is a bigger cut of Script. This is Script by Fabric Flare in 16 count Aida. I chose this for our Let Freedom Ring stitch along. And if I do say so myself, it was the perfect pick. I did not stitch it, but I am looking for something patriotic to stitch on this cloth because it is fabulous. And I saw who finished it. Who finished was it Jeanette who finished it? It looks fabulous on this cloth. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. It's a massive stitch, Let Freedom Ring. And this was just the perfect cloth for it. So this is 16 count Script from Fabric Flare. I also have 32 count Script from Fabric Flare. So pretty. I would love to stitch something on them. All right, then we have 16 count whitewash board from Fabric Flare. So this looks like whitewash boards. I thought that this one, what is the name of that one? I envisioned for this cloth, it's a Silver Creek Samplers. And it's a patriotic one. It's like a barn and it says 1776 and there's some text that goes with it. I envisioned that one on this one. I can't remember what the name of it is, but I think it would look really cool on this. There's barn on it. And then we have 16 count white. White. I thought it was you, Sherry. Did you finish it? I was going to say, I think it was Sherry. Yours is done, right? And didn't you gift it? I feel like maybe you gifted it. Oh my goodness. Okay, and then we're going to move on to 25 count Lugana. And just pay attention, stick with me, people, because there's a piece of 25 count Lugana in here that you guys are going to be very excited about. So 25 count Lugana, this is by Zweigart, and the color is Bone. And this is a very lovely, lovely neutral color. It's it's just very nice. This is a great neutral 25 count Lugana. Then we have 25 count Lugana in Cloud. This we used for like housewife, vintage housewife, stitch along. So Happy. So some of Lori's patterns call for this. So 25 count Lugana. Here's, what did I say? 25 count Lugana in Cloud. Yeah. 25 count Lugana in Prim. And this is a great option for garden samplers. The stitch along we're doing with Lori. And this, of course, was also used for the Prim series, the Prim Stitch series by Lori, which we just wrapped up not that long ago. So Prim by Lori. Look at this. It doesn't even have a label on it yet. This is 25 count Lugana in Desert Opalescent, and it is now online, my friends. This is what I have used for all of my Christmassy and wintry pillows. Do you see just a little bit of sparkle that's going on in that cloth? It's got a little bit of sparkle. I love it. I love it. This is what I'm doing my hometown holiday series on. And I do all of these little, like I said, the winter and the Christmassy pillows on this little, it's just got a tissue sparkle and it's perfect. What else did I use this for? I feel like I use this every chance that I get. So this is called Desert Opalescent. It's 25 count Lugana. Do you see that sparkle? It's fabulous. Perfect for winter stitches. The white is going to show up on here nicely. Perfect for Christmassy stitches with a little bit of magic in the background. It's back. Yes, Brandy, it is back. It is back in stock. This is by Wichell, and they discontinued it at one point. And we were all like in a slight depression. We were like, what? They're discontinuing it? I cannot believe. Why would they discontinue it? It makes no sense. Like, it's one of the most popular cloths. Well, it's back. They did discontinue it for a while, and now it's back. Gifted it to my best friend and neighbor. Oh my, did she love it? It was gorgeous. Oh my gosh, it was so pretty. What would be a good substitute for vintage country mocha 14 count for needlework or snowman? It's sold out everywhere. Did I not just do that? Vintage country mocha. I feel like vintage country 14 count. Is that what you said? 14 count. Vintage, not county, country, mocha, not mica, mocha. That one has just a little bit of modeling, and it's a little bit darker. 14 count. I would say any of the Legacy Fiber Arts. It's on the darker, Legacy Fiber Arts. It's on the darker side. So I would say the darker side for Legacy Fiber Arts would be Boston Tea Party. So look that up and see what you think about it. Otherwise, Low Tide would probably be next by Legacy Fiber Arts, because if you're looking for that modeling, that's your best bet, is to go along that route. You could look at that Sandcastle. That's in 14 count. See what you think of that modeling. Otherwise, I would stick with Legacy Fiber Arts. Does that help? And probably if you're looking for a similar color like that, Boston Tea Party would probably be my top choice by Legacy Fiber Arts. Free Spirit, popping in to say hi. I don't cross stitch. I want to give you a thumbs up. Bless me. Oh, thank you. Have a great day. She loved it. Oh, good. On white opalescent, that's perfect. Okay, so Desert Opalescent is back in stock. 25 count Lugana. That was a big, I wanted to let you guys know that today. We also have 25 count plain white Lugana by Zweigart. We have 25 count pewter Lugana. This is a great one. That's by Zweigart as well. And then we have 25 count Overcast by Lori. This is a fabulous one too. That is by Lori. And then on to 28 count. This is 28 count Springfield Sage. It's like a gray with just a hint of sage to it. Just a hint of sage. This is a fabulous piece of cloth. This one is a very common, it's one of my go-tos. This is what I stitched Brick House Sampler on. This is 28 count Lugana in Mushroom by Zweigart. It's a fabulous neutral. I use that one often. I use it for a lot of these stitch pillows back here too. This is 28 count Lugana in light ash gray. This is another beautiful one if you're looking for a gray background. And then 28 count Lugana in white. And then I have a 32 Lugana in platinum. This is another fabulous. It kind of has a mushroom feel to me, but they're just a hue off, a hue different. One is probably more tan and the other one is a little bit more gray. And then let's move into our 32 counts. We have 32 count graceful gray, kind of a lighter gray. 32 count natural light. This is like a darker, this could be good for garden samplers. 32 count Icelandic beige by Wichell. 32 count Venetian stone. This is like a very dark brown. Very dark brown. Sharon says, would you stitch 2/2 on 25 count? Yep, that's what I do. 2/2. Yes, ma'am. This is 32 count optical white. So it's like white. 32 count Icelandic gray. Hold it back a little bit so you guys can see. 32 count Icelandic beige. So this is like a very light, creamy color. 32 count graceful gray. A shade darker than Icelandic gray, which is this one, 32 count Icelandic gray. So you can see one is just a shade darker. Why do we have graceful gray again? Amazing gray. This is another great one. Clay Barn gray and amazing gray. They're pretty similar. So this is 32 count amazing gray. This is 32 count star sapphire. This one is like a blue gray. It's very pretty. 32 count white chocolate. It's another pretty popular one. 32, I already did that one. 32 count chalkboard black. 32 count rain, and this is country French, so it's very relaxed. And this is kind of a darker gray. This is what Snow Village was stitched on by Country Cottage Needleworks. So that gives you an idea of what it would look like stitched if you looked up Snow Village. Cafe Mocha in 32 count. This is country French as well. So it's natural light in 32 count. Blue Moon. So this is navy. And what I envisioned this being used was to stitch Silent Night by Country Cottage Needleworks. That church. It's kind of a lighter church. And I thought, oh, it would be beautiful like on a dark sky, like a navy sky in the background. So that's what I envisioned for this one. But this 32 count Blue Moon. Here's a Zweigart. It's 32 count Belfast raw linen, 32 count linen, Belfast raw. This would be great for garden sampler too. And then this one is another kind of sparkly one, 32 count Belfast raw opalescent. So if you're looking for a higher count that has that sparkle to it, this one is fabulous. Brandy used this one. What are you stitching in this one? What are you stitching on this one? I can't remember. Nutcracker Village, maybe? Is that true? Okay, and then we have some 36 count. This is Nor'easter by Legacy Fiber Art. This is so pretty. This one is New England Gray by Legacy Fiber Arts. And this one is 36 count. Oh, New England Gray again by Legacy Fiber Arts. You guys, that is all the cloth. So I brought all the cloth as requested, and I shared it with you today. And pretty soon we will have a ton more in the shop. Do you carry cuts larger than fat quarters? I usually need a larger cut. I do. Yes. Like for example, this 36 count is a fat half. And this 36 count is a fat half. And if you ever need, a cut that we don't have in the shop, just contact us because we may not commonly cut that up, but sometimes we do custom cuts for people. So just contact us and ask if you need something. And if we can make it happen for you, then we totally will. What was the color of the 25 count that was gray with a touch of sage? Springfield sage. Springfield sage. It's beautiful. Venetian stone, brown or gray? Brown. Oh, nice. I can see all white stitch on that. Happy Stitcher is Blue Moon like a bluebird blue? It's like a navy blue. It's darker than bluebird. It's like a midnight blue, navy. See? I think this is purple. It's not that, but it's navy. Love the sparkle fabrics. Me too. I'm kind of partial to them. Sharon, do you know if anyone makes a 36 count Legato? I don't. I'm not sure. I could do some research on that and find out, but I don't know off the top of my head. Brandy, I have the raw for Gingerbread Village. That's what it was for. Yes. As soon as I order from Legacy Fiber Arts, I will have more 40 count in. We typically have some 40 count in, but we are sold out of Legacy Fiber Arts right now. And that's why I need to order. But she's doing some dyeing for me right now for some stitch longs that we have going on. And so I'm trying to give her a little breather. I'm going to bombard her with another order. So yes, more 40 count will be coming. I'm new floss pattern buyer, not ready to try 36 count. That is okay. And it's okay if you don't ever try 36 count. What's most important is finding your sweet spot. You are welcome, Kelly. I'm going to rewatch and write every single one you showed today. Oh my goodness. Kathy, I think I missed it. What does country French mean? So country French, it doesn't have the stiffness that some of the other Wichell. So it's just more relaxed. It's a more relaxed cloth. You know, it's very relaxed. It's just like a non-starched piece of fabric. So country French will give you just more. All I can think of is relaxed. Is there a better word that I should be using? Because I just want to keep repeating relaxed. It's just not so stiff. The cloth isn't. Thank you for Frost. You are welcome, Happy Stitcher. So I have a bunch of charts to share, but I'm going to save those for next week since we did a lot of cloth this week. So I'm going to save those for next week. I pulled a bunch of like Valentine's, some wintry ones, because if some people are still in the mood for stitching winter, but I also pulled Valentine and I pulled some Easter ones that caught my eye. So I will save those for next week and we'll go through those next week. Yes, it's softer. Yes. Softer, just kind of drapey. I don't know. Yes, as Happy Stitcher says, you're awesome. Well, thank you. So I hope that helps with cloth. I love the questions. I hope I answered them okay and that you found it helpful. And so for this week, our calendar for Happy Little Stitch Shop for this week, for those of you who are in our Stitching with Lori Club, we have our meeting tonight. So don't forget that. And our January meeting for Stitching with Lori Club is tonight at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time here on our YouTube channel. The link is in your newsletter, so don't forget to go back and look at that. And then I will see people on Thursday for our quilting live. And I have been debating about potentially using that live stream for Calico Garden Prep, because I know a lot of us are doing Calico Garden Prep right now. I want to be doing Calico Garden Prep. And so what if we did Calico Garden Prep together on the live on Thursday and cut fabric? And if anybody has Calico Garden questions, ask questions and stuff like that. What do people think about that? I would love to hear feedback about that. So leave a comment in the comment section after the video is done and let me know if you're excited about Calico Garden Prep potentially for a live on Thursday, or if you would like just a regular quilting live like we typically do. Thank you so much, you guys, for being here and for joining me and hanging out with me and talking about all the stitchy things. I hope you will join us for our garden sampler stitch long with Lori. What was that? I hope you will grab your Calico mug that is brand new in the shop. And don't forget the cute pink bee needle minder and all of the cute happy charms that are in the shop. Sunbonnet Sue, Happy House, and the cute little Scotty dog. All right, so don't forget to check out the new stuff. And I will see you guys on Thursday. Have a fabulous week. Thank you so much. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our Happy Little Stitch Shop YouTube channel. And I will see you guys again soon. Happy stitching and take care.